All right, so I'm going to be making a color wheel here. I got my canvas pad here. I got ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, titanium white, and cadmium lemon. I got my linen panel here. Got some linseed oil here. Don't even know if I will be using that. And then some paint thinner. So I'm just gonna give you a brief overview of color theory and kind of how I want you to think about color as we go through the course here. So I'm gonna start off by just getting my blue and just gonna make a mark with my blue there. Cleaning my brush. Now the bottom of this can actually has like a little grate, so it's good for washing your bristles. See, I'm also using my pinching. You know, I'm not going very hard. I don't want to hurt my bristles, but just kind of pinching the paint out there. Also, coffee cans work for a good can like this because you got the ridges on the side of the can that you can kind of drag your brush across, and it'll help get the paint off. So next color here, I'm just gonna grab some yellow. I'm going right across from the blue. I'm gonna put some yellow. I'm gonna clean my brush again. Pinching out that color. I'm getting the red. Top of the triangle here. Some red. All right, so those are our primary colors. You should be able to mix any color out of those. So those are primary colors. When you mix them together, you get secondary colors. So if I were to mix some blue, some yellow, it's gonna be a green. So green right here. Clean my brush. Now we're going to mix up some yellow and red to get orange. And I know this might seem very simple, and you probably did this in middle school if you ever took art class. But just stick with me because it's going to build into explaining some good stuff. So I got my orange. Now red, blue, add a touch of white so we can see the purple here. And there we go. And now you can keep going with this. You can mix yellow and green, get a lime green. You can get a yellowish orange or reddish orangish or reddish orange. You can keep going a bluish green and getting those. But I want to go into complementary colors because I feel like that is a very important concept that you're always going to need while mixing colors. Because honestly, when you're mixing stuff, like very rarely, pretty much never, you're going to find in the natural world anything that's going to be a color straight out of the tube. Like, I'm not going to find a color that's just going to be straight red. You know, if I'm painting a tree and it's got red leaves, it's not going to be that. It's going to be desaturated. A better example is green. That's a really common. I'll talk about green. Because we see a lot of green in leaves, grass, all that stuff outside in nature. And this green right here is a green pretty much out of the tube. It's just using two colors that are out of the tube, these two right here. So I wouldn't want to use that green as a green in like a landscape. I want to desaturate. And how do you desaturate it? You saturate it with its complement. So its complement is red. So if I add a little bit of red to this, you see it's going to knock it back. It's not going to make it, you know, as much of an artificial green. It's going to be a more natural looking green, kind of a brownish looking green. I mean, pretty much what you're doing is, you know, getting to a brown. Like if you ever do need a brown, you know, start with mixing complements. Like I can change this green into a brown pretty quickly if I put enough red into it. So like right there, you know, you got pretty much a brown. And this goes with everything. This, so I got the purple here. Very rarely you're going to find a purple like that. So if you desaturate it, what's purple's complement? Look across from the color wheel. It's going to be yellow. So if I'm painting some, purple clouds or something, probably want to add a little bit of yellow. A little bit of white in there. Now I got a purple, but it's a more of a natural looking purple. It's not looking like Barney the Purple Dinosaur. So as I'm trying to match colors, I'm always just thinking, does it need more red? Does it need more yellow? Or does it need more blue? And a lot of times it's going to need a combination of all of them. Because let's say if I had a yellow and I'm like, all right, I need to desaturate that. It's like, does it need more red or does it need more blue? Well, it needs both because it needs purple. So, if I had a purple mixed up, I could go to that, or I can be like, oh, okay, I'm going to get my yellow here, then mix in some red with my yellow, a little bit of blue, come back to the red, and now I got a pretty desaturated, almost getting to like a yellow ochre. See, now you got a very natural looking, desaturated yellow. If you were like painting a field of wheat or something, this is probably a good color. So always be trying to think in those terms of, does it need more yellow? Does it need more red? Does it need more blue? That will also just make things more simple for you. If you have 10 colors out here and you're trying to get to a color, you got 10 options. Like, well, which one do I choose? Do I choose this red or do I choose this other red? This keeps it simple. And later on, when you get the hang of this, you can add colors to it as kind of shortcut colors. Like if you find you're always having to go to a purple, maybe you buy a tube of a certain purple you like, and that way you have it there. So whenever you need to desaturate your yellow, you don't have to go to your red and your blue. You can just go to your purple to desaturate your yellow. Or right here, if I added a little bit more red, I'm getting pretty close to a yellow ochre, which is actually a color that I tend to use a lot, especially when I'm painting portraits, because it just cuts down a step. I have a desaturated yellow already that I can use to mix into other things.